YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage back? Hey, I just got back to my house. I've been out traveling a couple of different times here. Once to see Mrs. Heir's family, once to see my family for Christmas. So I'm back. I'm probably going to schedule some streams over the next few days. So keep an eye out for that on my YouTube channel. For now, the streams are going to be on YouTube. I do have intentions, I think, to eventually start a Twitch channel, but we'll see. So keep an eye out for the streams. I'll probably be streaming more Wood Elf campaign for now, maybe other stuff. Also, go ahead and give me some ideas. I might put up a vote on the cards on this video. So look for like if you click on the cards, you should be able to see a vote. I'm gonna try and throw up to see what faction you all want me to focus on from a multiplayer standpoint. And we'll kind of get back into the groove of things. I've had some requests to bring back the Homeworld campaign. That'll be coming back soon. Not exactly sure when, but it'll come back. I keep thinking that any day now I'm supposed to get my Halo Wars Definitive Edition code. I bought it like a long time ago, and they said they were supposed to give it to me, but it hasn't come. So I don't know if I ever get that. I kind of want to continue the Halo Wars campaign, but I'd like to do it on the Definitive Edition on PC. But yeah, that's what's coming up. Anyway, I got a match here for you that was sent in by Hawk, and apparently he had been chatting at me a little bit in Ninja Hun's stream on Twitch. He's rocking the vampire counts here, and you can see there's a heavy skirmish army with like nothing more than to see Vlad pierced with many arrows and made dead again rather than undead. And Vlad's using all his healing, and I want to show you just how much damage is being incurred here. And he's about to get hit by the special ability there from the Glade Lady. If you look at Vlad von Karstein here, he has already used up most of his healing just from being shot by the 3 Hawk Riders and the Glade Lord. So you can see that Vlad is very, very quickly taking damage from that kind of stuff. And then this net also it takes away missile resistance. So this makes Vlad extremely vulnerable here. He's going to raise a unit of zombies, which is a good idea. The sooner you can do that kind of thing, the better, because it'll help absorb a few of the arrows that come his way. Let's look at the rest of the Wood Elf army. He's got a line of Eternal Guard. Not the shielded variety, which kind of makes sense versus the vampires, but the shielded variety do give you extra melee defense, not just a missile block chance. So, Wildwood Rangers, though. These guys are anti-large and armor piercing, so pretty serious line of infantry here for Wood Elves. All the skirmishing was in the air, so the 3 Hawk Riders and the Glade Lord on the Forest Dragon. So Vlad, you can see taking major damage. One of the Blood Knights is taking pretty considerable damage as well. Vlad's going to use up an Invocation and a Heck, and that is going to be all the healing that he gets done. It's going to use up the rest of it. So he is going to be pretty weak, and we're going to see whether or not Hawk can lead this vampire army to victory against the Wood Elves, who have a pretty superior position back here and a nice advantage in the works because of Vlad being so weak. The rest of the vampire army, you got 3 Grave Guards supported by 2 Cryptors, and then on this flank you got a Varghulf, which is a cool unit. Very vulnerable to missiles, but this guy does a lot of damage, and kind of a fun unit. Let's see, 2 White Kings, and then the Blood Knights. And I think that they see this flank unit of Eternal Guard, and the vampire players want to go ahead and maybe get in and do some damage. So I'll let you all get some cinematic view as the Varghulf. That's got to be a scary sight. I mean, you got yourself a spear, but do you really feel good about this scenario? The 2 White Kings and the Varghulf pounding in there, and the Blood Knights coming in. Absolutely brutal, yet beautiful also. So pretty ferocious attack here on this flank unit of Eternal Guard, and they take some pretty extensive damage. But the vampire count's going to have to get out of there. Vlad is still fighting for his life over here. He's going to get hit with the prey of Anath Rama, or whatever that is again. He's going to be in big trouble here. You see that the Hawk Riders and the Glade Lord getting some pretty serious work done there. All skirmishing from their mounts with their cool, magical-looking elven arrows coming into play against Vlad. Now the zombies here, again, this is a nice call by Hawk, at least I feel like it is. You can see some of the zombies staggering. They can potentially act as a bit of a hit point meat shield. The zombie formation's a little bit loose, but it's still going to act as somewhat of a hit point meat shield. But you can see Vlad is still absorbing a considerable amount of arrow fire. He's got him sticking out all over him. All of his blood from previous dinners is causing issues. See, he's going to spawn up more zombies here, just to have a meat shield around himself. This is smart, though, because there's Eternal Guard around, and the zombies, again, provide extra hit point meat shield for Vlad, and it's going to really help him stay alive. The attack has begun kind of in earnest on this flank. You have Wildwood Rangers and Eternal Guard fighting off Grave Guard and Crypt Horrors. And if we swing back to the other flank, you can see here that all the flyers have come down on top of Vlad. The Varghulf have been out here attacking something and is not currently in combat. You can see some healing coming in, and then the Glade Dragon's going to come down. I want you all to see what's going on over here. Look at Vlad's health. 660, just takes a charge from the Glade Dragon. He's down to 447. And these units go ahead and pull out. Not really sure why. It seems like they had the hit on Vlad. The Varghulf is going to come make a run at the Blade Lord and her dragon. And that's going to be pretty critical. Varghulf is the only unit here that has a chance to kind of chase off the dragon, because the dragon would seemingly have Vlad right where it wants him. You can see the Varghulf gets the engagement here and starts putting a pretty significant beat down. And the only downside to a Varghulf is their low leadership and, of course, low armor. In terms of the other fight, these Wildwood Rangers putting up a pretty significant fight over here. The elf units have decent armor piercing. These Blood Knights were pretty damaged and had a misclicked charge order on at least the first one, and so they actually get defeated by Wild Riders.
Air! Wild Riders suck! They're terrible!
I'm never going to forget those comments whenever the Wood Elves first came out. Wild Riders are actually quite good. I know they won't beat Blood Knights head-on, but in this case, when they were weakened and they had a bit of a bad order, they mopped them up with no problem. Wild Riders are really quite a great utility unit. And they definitely add a formidable aspect for the Wood Elves. Now look at this, Vlad is hanging on by a thread here. 294, but the Varghulf finishes the job, routs the Glade Lord. However, there's still a lot of Hawk Riders around, and these guys do nice armor-piercing damage. Some people think it's weird when I use my Hawk Riders in melee in the campaign, and it's because they have armor-piercing damage, and they come down with a pretty nice charge. And they can do a lot of damage when they come down in groups, especially to armored targets. Yes, they're a little bit flimsy, but sometimes it's great to use them to dish that damage rather quickly. So here's Vlad. He's going to spawn up another unit of zombies again. Nice to keep the meat shield around him. The Varghulf is kind of also providing some hitting power here to keep Vlad safe. You can see the Varghulf there, Vlad not far away. Someone just got chucked way the heck out of the fight over there. I'm assuming that's Varghulf's work. And the Forest Dragon has come back for seconds, and the Hawk Riders are continuing to try and pursue their prey, which is right there, Mr. Vlad von Karstein. Let's watch. The Dragon's going to swoop down on the other side of the battlefield and try and mop up the other fight, so that possibly they can swing around and pay more attention to Vlad. You see the Varghulf there putting down a Hawk Rider. I'm trying to give you all some good cinematic views here. Vlad, though, is in big trouble. There's some Wildwood Rangers around him. He's down to 109 hit points. Fortunately, the Varghulf is here, and so are the zombies. Again, nice use of the zombies. It's unbelievable to me that Vlad's still hanging on, and here comes the Hawk Riders. And let's just watch this. He comes down to 40 hit points, and these Hawks just keep swooping in, and I'm like, oh, Vlad's going to die. He's totally going to die. But right here, the Varghulf, look at that, stops the Forest Dragon once again. I always want to say Glade Dragon. Stops the Forest Dragon. 40 hit points. Vlad is not being hit, and I can only assume it's the zombies just getting in the way, but eventually he goes down. Vlad is dead, but look at this. Forest Dragon routes right next to the white line, and Terror kicks in. Wild Riders route right next to the line, and then there's a White King left, which means that although it's rather close, with the leadership of the White King and the Varghulf's damage here and Terror, they should be able to mop up what's left of the Elven troops, and that's exactly what happens here. A very, very close fight, though, in the end. It was a fun one. Actually really enjoyed this. The Hawk Riders have some ammo left. They're gonna... I would hope they'd be targeting the Varghulf. I think he's the easiest target. They charged the White King, though, right in the presence of that Varghulf. I think that it would have been best for them to try and use their ammo from up in the air, and then maybe make a final stand after that point. They're not going to be able to kill the White King. Look at the Wildwood Rangers, though. This tired Varghulf is taking quite a bit of damage to them, even though they were pretty beat up. And then there's going to be a nice rear charge here from the Hawk Riders. So the Varghulf does take some damage there in the end, showing that it definitely can be brought down with the right combination of units, but the Terror and everything's going to kick in. And that's going to be a very close, a very solid Vampire Count's victory there, in my opinion. So nicely played by Hawk. Nice name there too, Hawk, right? You had all these Hawk riders on the other side. Little did he know maybe that his opponent would be fielding so many of his namesake there. It was fun. Appreciate him sending this one in. It was a very small vampire count army. And honestly, there was some real vulnerabilities here in some ways, in the sense that crypt horrors are quite exposed to skirmishing. Vlad can be quite exposed to it, and so can the Varghulf. But again, like the way that he played things and made it work. Hope y'all can't hear little air in the background too much. I need to go turn his monitor off. He's not wanting to go to bed. But in any case, the Wood Elf player put up a pretty significant fight here, and that skirmishing at the beginning, I thought it had Vlad there. And kudos to Hawk there for popping up the zombies and doing his best to keep Vlad alive for as long as possible, because obviously without your lord as the vampires, it gets a lot less likely that you're going to succeed, because they really depend on that magic and leadership from their lord and their wizards. So hope y'all enjoyed this one. Tell me what you think. I know I enjoyed it. Appreciate Hawk sending it in. Hope to see you all soon. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now.